So I was driving home from work the other day. It's about an hour's drive home, so your mind tends to go over quite a few different things. And the question popped into my head, why do we barbecue? Or why do we start barbecuing maybe? So I've told my story before about how I got into barbecue. I was at a Weber demonstration with Dan Cooper. I saw him doing a whole chicken on the barbecue, and that just tweaked my interest, and that was enough for me to go home and try it and see if I liked it myself. But then I got to thinking, I've seen chickens being cooked 100 times before. What was it about that chicken being cooked on a barbecue that really made me want to go and try it? I've seen chicken being done in the oven, all different kinds of chicken being done in the oven, but I've never rushed home and got a chicken and thought, I need to buy a new oven now. Or I've never went and joined Facebook groups for Samsung oven owners. So that's what got me down the rabbit hole of thinking, why do we barbecue? So I thought we'd have a chat about it while I make some wings for my lunch. We're trying out the Plowboys barbecue Yardbird rub. I've seen this used quite a lot on the All Things Barbecue channel. It's good enough for Chef Tom, it's good enough for me. So we're going to try that on some wings, and we're using the Pro Smoke Field Dome for the first time. But this isn't a cook video, I'm just making these for my lunch. I'm going to eat them, but we're talking about why we barbecue. So quite a few of you will more than likely be screaming at your phones or computer screens right now saying barbecue just tastes better. And yes, to an extent that is true, but people can make really good food in a kitchen as well. Now fair enough, they're not getting that smoky flavour to it, but to have that as a justification as the only reason we try it is because it tastes better, that's not what gets people interested in the first place. And there's a couple of things that I think really tweaks people's interest. Number one is, I think it's just hard enough or just difficult enough that it gets people interested in it or makes them want to try it. As I said, I've cooked chickens before in the kitchen, so seeing Dan Cooper cook a chicken wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but it was the fact that it was on the barbecue, and I was well used to barbecuing, but it was only ever grilling really, burgers, sausages, etc. So the fact that you can roast something on the barbecue was the thing that got my interest, and I wasn't quite sure how to do it. I'd seen his demo, so I knew the basics of it, but I'd never tried it myself. So that got me interested just enough to think, I wonder, is this something that I can try?
Just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by. Yeah, 'cause it's sight from my soul.
And the second thing to consider is you guys. So obviously I didn't know what I was doing with barbecue when I first saw that demo, so I thought I need to jump online, as most people do, to try and find stuff out. You go onto Facebook, you go onto Instagram, Twitter, and the barbecue community is probably the most welcoming community I've ever come across. Now, I've had other hobbies in the past, and I've always joined communities, joined forums, followed people, and sometimes beginners can be sort of treated as a little bit of a pain, if that makes sense. So if you're asking really basic questions, or there's certain things you don't know, if you're asking the same questions over and over again because maybe you can't get the right answer, that can sometimes put more experienced people off, and you just get nothing but abuse in those forums. Whereas it was the exact opposite in the barbecue community. So whenever there was a really simple thing I wanted to know, you could ask a question, and rather than 15 people lining up to slate you, they were lining up to help you. So that is another big reason I think that a lot of people stick with barbecue, because I've given hobbies up in the past that I just couldn't get to grips with, and I was sick of just getting abuse from people for asking simple questions.
I think it's all angels just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by.
And then there's the social aspect of it. They always say the kitchen is the most sociable room in the house, but I can guarantee if somebody walks into your kitchen and sees you in the backyard barbecuing, they will soon leave the kitchen and come out to the backyard. Everybody loves gathering around a grill, seeing what's cooking, talking about it, or just enjoying good weather, or maybe not so good weather. But that little bit of pride you feel when your mates come out to the backyard and see what you're cooking and they're asking questions and you're explaining how it's done, that takes you right back to the very first point I had, which is that tweaks their interest because it's just hard enough that they can't do it yet, but they imagine themselves to be able to do it. And that is why I think barbecue is growing so much in the UK. It just repeats that process over and over again. So something tweaks their interest and they decide to give it a go. They have relatively good results, but they have some questions or they still need to learn a little bit more, which is where the community comes in and everybody rallies around them and teaches them what they know. There are definitely no secrets in barbecue, and everybody's more than willing to share their techniques. They then progress through and their friends then come around and have a look at what they're cooking, or they taste the food and they want to try it for themselves and they go back to point one again, which is great to see, and it's the way a community should be. So good on you guys for keeping that process going and helping grow barbecue here in the UK. So to answer the question, why do we barbecue? The answer really is, once you've tried it for the first time, there really is no other option. So what I want you to do is to comment below with your story. Who got you involved in it? What did you see them cooking that tweaked your interest? And how have you found your journey so far? Or even let me know what stage of the journey you're on. I'm going to go and dust off these wings. So hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. There goes the same